Fuck off. All right, hey everybody, welcome to Big Jims Blogcast Live. I'll be with you in a minute here. I'm just doing a lot of sharing, so all right, so all right, there we go. Okay, classic television group, yeah, okay, so anyways, yeah, so thank you for tuning in. I'll, like I said, be with you guys in a minute here. Let's see here, I'm just gonna I'm doing some sharing first. All right, so yeah, let's see, all right, okay, let's see here, okay, yeah, just wanna, all right, okay. So, yeah, drinking game zone, oh, yeah, all right, okay, bongos and conga, all right, okay, birthday, lovely birthday wishes, boom, boom, all right. Today's birthday friends, happy birthday. All right, so upcoming birthdays, all right, okay, POP, all right, whoops, POP, whoops, nope, not that, all right, pop culture the group, pop culture nostalgia, pop culture that, okay, all right, classic rock, okay, all right, okay, 80s hair metal band, hard rock and hair metal of the 80s metal uncensored, 80s, 90s rock and roll, all right, so, hey, how's it going? All right, let's see here. See more, my shortcuts. All right, don't freak out. All right, yeah, okay. So here we go. And, all right. So I'm going to share this with okay. So people who shared this, all right. Okay. Share now, public, there we go, share to a group, all right, so yeah, Sarnia, anything goes, all right, post there, all right, okay, hold on a sec there, no, not there, okay. All right. There to a group. Sarnia party people. There we go. Post. All right. So let's see here. All right. Let's switch into page. Okay, anyways, yeah, like how. All right, so share to a group. Sarnia, supporting Sarnia 2.0. You gotta love Sarnia. Sarnia happenings. All right, there we go. Okay, so, all right, share to a group. Okay, all right, so there we go. All right, okay, so I'll just cut back to here. So anyways, how is everybody? All right, so yeah, all right, so I posted that. All right, so I'm just like, all right, there we go. Okay, so, all right. Okay. All right, to a group. Okay, so anyways, yeah, if you give me a minute here, let's see. All right, let's see. I'm just working out some technical stuff here before we get going. All right, there we are. All right. All right, expand that. All right. So yeah, so let's see if you're in there. Okay. Let's see. Van Halen 78 to 74. Eddie Van Halen. Van Halen with Sammy Hagar. Van Halen fan club. Van Halen. All right. Okay. Shatner. William Shatner, the man, the myth, the legend. All right. And so, classic game. Okay. And so, yeah. Trivia and game show hosts, game show fans. All right, all thing drinking games. There we go. All right, drinking games and recipes. Okay, and so okay. What else here? Oh yeah, Rubick's. All right, so yeah. Rubik's Cube classes, Rubik's Cube, there we go. Cube speed cubing. All right. All right. So anyways, yeah. Hey everyone, this is Big Jims Blogcast Live. What else am I gonna do here? So anyways, yeah. Share to a group. Yeah. So anyways, this is Big Jims Blogcast Live version 5.0. Episode 256. It's Sunday, June 25th, 2023. Hey, so anyways, to Habano Cigar Club, there we go. Friends who like Gurkha cigars, there we go. We love the Dukes of Hazzard, Graham Bend Uncensored, there we go. Bloggers Blog, all right. Motivational quotes, all right. So beer goals, the beer craft group. Okay. And so all movie and TV show review. Bloggers. All right. So all right. Classic TV show movies and memories. Pro wrestling discussion. Yeah, so, wrestling nerds. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, come on. All right, hello. All right, so we did that. All right, so anyways, yeah. Pop culture nostalgia, wrestling through the years. All right, so, 80s retro. All right, so yeah. Um, okay, so yeah, so log herself. There we are. All right. So, anyways, yeah, this is Big Jim Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256. I'm glad people could join us tonight. All right. So, more options send in Messenger. I'm going to share this blogcast with the Point Brewing Company. Point Brewing. There we go. All right. Send. Let's see here. All right. So, all right. Okay. All right. So, more options to a group. Let's see. All right. All right. There we go. All right. There we are. Okay. So, all right. So, anyways, let's get going here. It is Big Jim Blogcast Live version 5.0. Episode 256. It's Sunday, June 25th, 2023. Thank you for joining me. Yeah. All right, so I'll do my intro. Welcome to Big Jim Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256. Big Jim, for people that are the first time, are watching this blogcast for the first time, Big Jim Blogcast Live airs Sundays on Facebook around 7. That's our time, and the occasional Fridays and Wednesdays. We're in our 5th year as Big Jim Blogcast Live debuted back in 2018. Big Jim Blogcast Live does craft beer reviews, over 250 and counting. And tonight's craft beer is called Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. I'm trying this beer for the very first time, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that. We do craft beer reviews from breweries right here in the Sarnia area, to across Ontario, to across Canada. We pair it with a good cigar and spirit. Tonight's cigar is like a Gurkha coffee cafe trio. I'm going to light this puppy up. So, all right. All right. Got to get used to that. Oh, yeah. Good coffee taste to it right away. Anyways. All right, and we pair it with like a spirit. So tonight we're chasing it down with Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. So, anyways, yeah. All right. So we're pairing it with Gibson's Finest Whiskey. Like I said, I'm trying it for the very first time tonight. We talk about classic movies, classic TV, classic sci-fi, classic pro wrestling. We're going to cube the Rubick. I'll explain that in a minute. This week in Van Halen history, local events near you, countdowns, birthday shoutouts to our friends, retro, classic, nostalgia, yesteryear are the buzzwords here. So, Big Jim Blogcast Live is seen in the U.S. and Canada. Plus, we're also worldwide from the UK. We're seeing people see us in the UK, Australia, Mexico, France, Spain, Germany, and so on. Thank you for watching. Turn us on and tune us in. Enjoy the show. Politics and religion, they're banned here. We're having a good time. And also, I want to remind everybody that I will remind you later on tonight that Big Jim Blogcast Live is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all these audio listening platforms where you listen to your podcast to, plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jim Blogcast Live at youtube.com. I'm going to say I want to thank everybody. I want to give shout out to everybody watching in the Sarnia, Port Elgin groups, like Sarnia Rocks, Chain Reaction, all the pop culture, retro, classic, nostalgia groups, all the Van Halen, hard rock, hair metal, Helix groups, all the craft beer, cigar groups, sci-fi, Star Trek, William Shatner, pro wrestling, blogs, the classic TV and movies, the birthdays, the bongos, the Rubicks, WKRP, Shatner, and classic game show host. All right, so let's get going here. Like I said, yeah, so cheers and here we go. All right, so that we got that out of the way. Like I said, this is Big Jim Blogcast Live version 5.0. I'm going to set this over here. All right, so anyways, All right. So, anyways, as I'm doing this, I'm gonna. All right. I will explain to you what. All right. So, anyways, yeah. So we have like. Anyways, my craft beer review. Oh, my disclaimer. I may say a few bad, dirty words like shit, damn, screw, fuck. You better you might want to. Go get your Kleenex, go to a safe space, and deal with it because those words might slip out tonight. So, anyways, yeah. All right. I'm sharing it to a few more groups. Bill Murray and Beer Night. I will get going as soon as all right. So. All right. So, anyways. Yeah, so anyways, all right, so WKRP in Cincinnati. Okay, so I'm just sharing it to a few more places here, so, all right. Okay, so hair metal 80s, all right. Okay, Warrant Band. All right. So, anyways, yeah. The Almighty Van Halen fan site. Rubick's Cube. All right. 8 Tracks USA. Okay. So. Okay. So, anyways, let's see here. 50th birthday bash. All right. Moss Isley Cantina. Okay. WKRP and Cincinnati fans. All right. So, anyways, there we go. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. Welcome to Big Jims Blogcast Live. We got those introductions out of the way. So, all right. Let me check this out. All right. So, anyways, yeah. Okay. So, I'm just updating this. All right. So, yeah. All right. Okay, anyways, yeah, welcome to Big Jims Blogcast. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, tonight's craft beer review, before we, all right, is called Chocolate Milk Stout, is by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. I am trying this for the very first time tonight. I brought back up, as you can see right there, and I got their own glasses. Point are the new boys on the block. They've been open for about a year now. So let's see how this pours. All right, well, there we go. All right, chocolate milk stout. Okay, so anyways, look at the head on that. And when I get this head to go down, I'm going to explain to you my rating system. I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. But we have our own drinking game here, made up by the Grand Bend crew. Wonder if they're out tonight, out and about tonight. So, anyways, let me explain that to you. All right, so I give this a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So, anyways, here's my beer rating system. So, anyways, 10 to 6 is outstanding. Excellent, awesome, very good, above average. All right. 5 to 1, average, below average. All right. Average, below average, not very good, terrible, awful. So bad that it was brewed in a sewage plant. All right. So, yeah, there you go. And on the back, I've got the Big Jims Blogcast Live drinking game here. So, anyways, there we go. I was just like, all right. Okay. So, sorry, people. I was just like, all right. Paul. Okay. All right. So, anyways, yeah. All right. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Here's the drinking game. You see me do a bongo solo, one shot. You see me relight my cigar, one shot. Cube the Rubick, one shot. Mention YouTube, one shot. A craft beer rating, if it's over 5, one shot. If it's under 5, 2 shots. I know it says under 6, but that would make sense. So, all right. And then thanking everyone, that's one shot. There we go. I'll reiterate this later on in the blogcast. But so here we go. I would like to solve a Rubik's Cube. Empire Strikes Back. All right. So, all right. All right. So, yeah. Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. There we go. Grand Bend. All right. There we go. We're set for life here. All right. So, there's my craft beer rating system. You got it. All right. I expect to see the craft beer crew around here. So, anyways, yeah, if you're new here, I'm going to wait. Oh, there we go. So, anyways, the head's going to go down. There we go. Pouring the rest of that into that. Convenient. Got their glass. Like I said, I'm trying it for the very first time, but I'm going to cube the Rubick tonight. I'm going to try and get like a blue side, 20 turns, and trying to get the whole blue side. If I don't, I'm going to do that 3 times tonight. I am going to we're going to do some birthday shout outs, we're going to do some countdowns, local events. We're going to do a double Shatner, it's a double Shatner trip, double shot of Shatner, two of his classic movies. Keep you lay it in there. We're going to do like the new WKRP in Cincinnati, Mr. Adventure from Star Trek 3, Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, random sci-fi character, our classic tag team, the British Bulldogs, our classic game show host Dan Gallagher and Tess Pattern, our classic album Helix-Walkin the Razor's Edge, our classic guitar duo Brent Doerner and Paul Hackman from Helix, and this week in Van Halen history. So here we go. All right. So, all right, just doing a bit of toggling here. There we go. All right. So, yeah. Let's see, notifications. All right. So, okay, here we go. So anyways, this is called Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. I'm trying it for the very first time tonight. I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast, so if you're still here, you want to throw out a number, see if it matches up with mine, feel free to do so, because we're all about audience participation here at Big Jims Blogcast Live. So, oh wow, you can really taste the chocolate in that. The chocolate milk in that. Yeah. Yeah. It's got a chocolatey aftertaste to it. All right. So, yeah, that's unusual. It's very unusual. Okay. Keep in mind I'm trying it for the very first time tonight. All right. All right. I said this is chocolate milk stout. They don't give me much information on the can, but look at the texture on that. Like, look at that darkness. You can taste the chocolate milk in it, and it does have a chocolatey milk aftertaste to it. So, whether it's a spring, summer, or fall beer, we're gonna decide that for the rest of the blogcast. See, when I do these blogcasts, I don't go, well, it's very exquisite tasting, yes, I don't use any bullshit words. I just go with my gut on it. So, anyways, yeah. All right, so cheers. Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Work in progress here. So I brought, that one's empty. So like you said, I brought backup, chasing it down with Gibson's whiskey. All right. Oh, yeah. All right, that stings like that. Okay. And a good cigar. So here we go. We're going to do some birthday shout-outs in a minute. Oh, no, wrong one. Okay. So I did brought a backup cigar. So, all right. So remember, so if the Grand Bend crew is out, or if anybody else is out tonight, say hi. You know what? All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. Say hi, Paul. If anybody else is out, say hi. Don't be shy. This is a good Gurkha cigar. Cafe. Well, good Gurkha coffee cigar there. So, yeah. All right. All right. So you remember the rules of the drinking game here. All right. There we go. One shot. La la la. Bongo solo. Relight the cigar. Cube the Rubick. Mention YouTube. Craft beer rating. There we go. Larry, I'm glad to see you out here tonight, Larry. Fuck. All right. Okay. Good old Larry. Larry, tonight's craft beer. It is called Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Like I said, it's got like a chocolatey milk aftertaste to it. But yeah, it goes down really smoothly there. I brought it back up. Got a good cigar here. All right, boom. Random bongo solo there for everybody, and if you know the rules, you'll play the game. So right on. So yeah. All right, just doing some toggling here. All right. Steve, glad to see you out here tonight. So anyways, now before we get going here, I want to bring this to your attention. This is called the Growler. It's Ontario's craft beer guide. I got this at the Bad Apple Brewing Company a couple of weeks ago. Now this little book details every craft brewery in Ontario. It's available for $3 at the liquor store, any craft brewery. It details, let's say if you live in like Thunder Bay, you'll have like craft breweries near you. This growler will tell you where they are, what they do, what the functions are, and so yeah, it's available for $3 at any craft brewery in Sarnia or in Ontario, or in any craft brewery in Ontario or any LCBO in Ontario. So yeah, good to see everybody out here tonight. All right, and when I do these ratings, do I give it a 1, a 3, a 10? All right, so stick around at the end of the blogcast. I am going to give it a rating out of 10. So there we go. All right. Okay. So yeah. All right. All right. Of an infection. Okay. So anyways, tonight, oh yeah, big Jims Blogcast live coffee mug. Right on. Handy for those mornings when I'm hungover. But anyways, that's another story. So for you people, here's the Rubik's Cube. So for us to grow up with this, I won't have to explain what it is and how it works. So you might want, for the younger crowd, you might want to Google Rubik's Cube and see how it works there. But anyways, I'm going to try and get the whole blue side 3 times tonight. This is the first of 3 tries. And if I'm cubing the Rubick, you know what to do out there. So anyways, here we go. Drum roll. All right, 20 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And that's what I got. Shit. Fuck. Are you kidding me? Fuck. All right. So that, well, I'm going to do that 2 more times tonight, so stay tuned. I might get it, I might not. So anyways, yeah. All right. Oh. I've got a good cigar. It's a Gurkha Cafe. I can't read that. Cafe Tabac coffee cigar. I got it at the Riverfront Cigars right here in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. So, anyways, let's see here. So, Shatner. All right. So, anyways, we're going to do some birthday shout-outs. But before we get to that, I'm going to remind everybody tonight that this blogcast is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere where you listen to your podcast, like all these other podcast platforms, plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jims Blogcast, live at youtube.com. I want to give shouts out to everybody watching the Sarnia, Port Elgin groups. Sarnia Rocks, supporting Sarnia 2.0. Michelle, you guys rock. Chain Reaction, great band there. All the pop culture, retro classic nostalgia groups. All the Van Halen, hard rock, hair metal, classic rock, Helix groups. Craft beer, cigars. Star Trek, Star Wars, sci-fi, pro wrestling. The blog groups, the classic TV and movie groups, the birthday groups, the bongo groups, the Rubick Cubes groups. WKRP in Cincinnati. Shatner, Trek. Classic game shows, right on. So here we go. All right. So anyways, birthday shout-outs. All right. Fuck yeah. All right. Happy birthday shout-outs. Go out to... All right. From June 19th to the 25th, here we go. Louis Mackay, Teresa Farrell, Laurie Boucher, Trevor Cope, Will Bird, Jel Victor, Rick Carr, Cheryl Morgan, Rhonda Johnston, Darren Landon, Chad Irwin, Chantel Darcy, Mark Stewart, Mark Ernest Bird, Jen Johnson, Nicole Leinhardt, Gloria and Rick Bodin. All right, happy birthday, everyone. All right, so yeah, happy birthday, everybody, from Big Jims Blogcast Live, and I hope that everybody had a happy birthday. All right, because it's your special day, you do what you want, you rock. So, right on. All right, so, whew, all right, man. Boom, another bongo solo. Anybody getting drunk yet? All right, so, all right, okay. All right, so we got, like, before we get going here, like, at the candy store in Sarnia, I got these two, like, craft beer lollipops. One's pale ale, and the other is chocolate stout. So, yeah, haven't tried them yet, so there we go. All right, so, yeah, all right, so what are we doing here? All right, so anyways, yeah, so we're going to get some countdowns now. All right, so Canada Day is in 6 days. All right. Okay. The August long weekend is in 37 days. Labor Day long weekend is in 71 days. Autumn fall is in 92 days. Halloween is 128 days away. Remembrance Day is 139 days away. And that's all we have for countdown. So right on. Hope everybody had a good weekend. All right, so yeah. All right, good Gurkha cigar. It's a coffee themed, coffee flavored cigar there. It is a Cafe Tabac, right on. So there we go. There's a, and I did bring back up another one just in case that one goes belly up. Yeah. So anyways, tonight's craft beer, accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. So, all right. Tonight's craft beer, it is called Chocolate Milk Stout. And so, that is brought to us by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. And I'm going to top this up. All right. So, and look how dark it is. Look how dark it is. So I do, and when I do these craft beer reviews, I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So if you're still here and sticking around, you know, trying this for the very first time, I got one of their glasses, PVC. So it's got a as expected, it's got that chocolatey milk aftertaste to it. So it's got a, you know, the stout taste to it, dry. You know, it's got to grow on me all through the blogcast, and I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So if you're still here, sticking around, you know what, you want to throw it a number, see what if it jives up with mine, feel free to do so, because we're all about audience participation here. All right, so yeah, we'll set that aside. All right, boom, bongo. All right, so yeah, what's on tap for tonight before we do local events? We've got a Shatner Doubleshot, classic movie Doubleshot. So, all right, classic movie, classic Shatner Doubleshot movie with the new WKRP in Cincinnati. A random sci-fi character from Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. Mr. Adventure, our classic tag team, the British Bulldogs. Our classic game show host, Dan Gallagher and Test Pattern. Our classic album, Helix-Walkin, The Razor's Edge. Our classic guitar duos, Brent Doerner and Paul Hackman. This week in Van Halen history. All right, so let's see. What do I want to do here? Oh yeah. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Just okay. There we are. There we are. All right. So yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. So with local events, I hope everybody enjoyed Revelry Music Festival and Blue Water Border Fest. From what I've heard, it rocked. It was an awesome time. I drove by, heard the music. We drove by, we heard the music. Next year I'll try and make it there. But, all right. So anyways, another bongo solo here. All right. So, yeah. All right. All right. So, with local events, the buzzwords, for the longest time we had COVID and that like put a damper on local events, and the used to be buzzwords were like they were like local events were put on hiatus, rescheduled, canceled, postponed, but not anymore. But yeah. Oh, Kathy. How you doing, Kathy? Right on. Shouts out to you. Kathy, tonight's beer, craft beer, is called Chocolate Milk Stout. It's by the Point Brewing Company right here in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Yeah. So anyways, but yeah. All right. So, but yeah, back on topic here, like our local events, like here we go. Rumblefish rocking the Duke d'Orleans 2 cruise. Saturday, August 12th. The cruise is at 7. You board at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $30. You got to contact a band member of Rumblefish for tickets. Saturday night dances, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. They're at the Sarnia Legion downstairs. Or $7 cover charge. Classic rock and country, 286 Front Street North. It runs from the end of June till July. Friday, August 4th is the Blue Water Sand Fest, 2808 Omar Street in Port Huron, Michigan. Sand sculpting, live music, food, beer tent, can't go wrong there. Shape the Shoreline, Saturday, August 12th in Centennial Park in Sarnia. Prizes, there's prizes. They've got over 50 vendors and small businesses. Sunday, July 2nd, 12 p.m. is Future Pastimes. Future Pastimes are celebrating their grand reopening, the 31st anniversary. They're in Sarnia. Friday, June 30th, 2023, 7 p.m. Roller skating at the Clearwater Arena. It's an open skate. $7 for adult, under 16, $5. And if you don't have skates, you can rent skates for $3. Saturday, September 23rd, 8 p.m. The Feelers at Ruster. Go to www.ticketscene.ca for like for tickets. Ruster, a great band there. No, Ruster, a great little music hall there right outside of Sarnia. All right. Oh, yeah. Kathy, if you've like... all right, here's our drinking game. So there's the drinking game, Kathy, for your benefit. I know you like started like there we go. So all right. So yeah. All right. So Friday, July 14th, 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. at Imperial City Brewhouse in Sarnia is Dueling Pianos. It's all request driven piano show. Sarnia, Imperial City Brewhouse, another like great little brewery there in Sarnia. Saturday, July 8th, 5:30 to 11 p.m. is a barn dance hosted by the town of Petrolia and Petrolia Optimus Club. There's going to be a cash bar, food truck, Optimus barbecue, live music featuring Scott Mannery and the Barn Burners. That's at 396 Fletcher Street. So, Thursday, June 29th, 7 p.m. karaoke night with Brian McDonald at Imperial City Brewhouse in Sarnia. Good. Get your sing on there. All right. Thursday, July 20th, 8 p.m. Wayward Saints at the Refined Fool in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. They're at the second location of the Refined Fool, 1326 London Road. It's a free show. Again, Refined Fool, another great little brewery in Sarnia. They've got two locations in Sarnia, one downtown and one on London Road. All right. And that is it for local events. So, right on. So, there we go. All right. So, okay. It is Big Jims Blogcast Live, version 5.0, episode 256. Sunday, June 25th, 2023. I'm going to remind everybody before we get going, if you've been paying attention, you know what to do. So, this blogcast is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all these audio listening platforms where you listen to your podcast to, plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jims Blogcast Live at youtube.com. I want to give shouts out to everybody watching in the Sarnia, Port Elgin groups, especially Sarnia Rocks. Michelle, you guys rock, supporting Sarnia 2.0. Chain Reaction, great band there. Glenn and the guys really rock it up. All the pop culture, retro classic nostalgia groups. All the Van Halen, Helix, hard rock, hair metal, classic rock groups, all the craft beer, cigars, sci-fi, Star Wars, Star Trek, Shatner, pro wrestling, Blogspot, classic TV and movies, birthdays, bongos, Rubick's groups, WKRP, and classic game shows, and the like I said, Helix groups, because we've got a classic album by Helix tonight, plus our classic guitar duo, Brent Doerner and Paul Hackman of Helix. So, yeah. All right. All right. All right. So, yeah. Our craft beer for tonight it is accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. Our craft beer for tonight, it is, I'm going to top this up. It is called Chocolate Milk Stout. It is by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, a neighboring of Sarnia. So let me top this up. Trying this for the very first time tonight. So, chocolate milk aftertaste to it, but that's expected because you can taste the chocolate milk in it. Very dry tasting. And like I said, all right, Larry, right on. I'll check that out after the blogcast. And yeah, so this grows on, it's got to grow on me all during the blogcast. So we're going to get more into it. So, but a good specialty beer, good beer. So, yeah. All right. So anyways, yeah. All right, boom. All right, bongo solo there for everybody that wanted one. All right, so, all right, so anyways, let's see what we're up. Yep, all right. All right. President of, all right. Okay. All right. All right. Play. All right, there we go. Okay. So starting us off tonight, we've got a Shatner. All right. We have like a Shatner double movie feature here. So, all right. All right, let me, okay. So, we've got a Shatner movie. We've got a Shatner double shot here. Classic movies. So, anyways. All right, just toggling here for a bit. So frightening you'll never recover. Ah, fuck. All right. So, we've got a Shatner movie double shot here. So, there we go. There's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. William Shatner. We've got Kidnapping of the President and Visiting Hours. So, ooh, look at that. All right. So, okay. What did you think? Did you think we were going to like do some Star Trek movies like this, Star Trek 3 and Star Trek 4? No. We weren't going to do that at all. So, but we're going to start off here with like Visiting Hours. So, all right. So, anyway, no. Actually, we should start off with the Kidnapping of the President. So, anyways, there's the movie right there. I got that from the Cave. Thank you, Chris. All right. So, with the Kidnapping of the President. All right. So, this movie was released August 15th, 1980. I've got it on right now. All right. So the cast was William Shatner as Secret Service agent Jerry O'Connor, Hal Holbrook. Where is Mr. Holbrook here? There we go. Hal Holbrook, legendary actor there, as President Adam Scott. Van Johnson as Vice President Ethan Richards. Van Johnson as Vice President Ethan Richards, Ava Gardner as Second Lady Beth Richards, Elizabeth Shepard as like First Lady Joan Scott, and Miguel Fernandez as Robert Asante. Now, Asante. So, the premise plot here during a state visit to Canada. So, when is it? All right. So, President Adam Scott is warned about a threat to his life by Secret Service agent Jerry O'Connor. The president ignores the warning and is abducted, kidnapped, walking through Nathan Phillips Square by South American terrorist Roberto Asante. He demands $100 million in diamonds. Why they want diamonds, I don't know. Along with 2 airplanes as a ransom for the safe return of the president. Now, President Scott is held in a booby-trapped truck with explosions set to go off at midnight. O'Connor has to find a way to rescue him while dealing with like a turf war between various U.S. law enforcement agencies and the vice president's political ambitions. And so there we go. There we go. All right, doing some toggling right there. O'Connor rescues the president by getting Asante, a henchman, to turn on him, but he really saves the president by using a cutter torch on the truck's engine and wall and saves the president. So there's the president. All right, so here's a couple of screenshots from, there we go. He is as like with the Mounties in Nathan Phillips Square. All right, and there we are. There's another one. All right, so, okay. And here he is with the president and First Lady, along with another unnamed Secret Service agent. And another action shot of the Shat as Secret Service agent Jerry O'Connor. So, all right. It's a pretty good movie. It's based on the 1974 book of the same name by Charles Templeton. The back setting was in New York, at Herald Square and Times Square, but Charles Templeton's home, it was more adjusted to Charles Templeton's home to home city of Toronto. Now, the movie wasn't bad enough. It garnered 2 Genie Awards nominations for film editing and overall sound. Shatner made this after Star Trek The Motion Picture. And so, there we go. And I did post a few of Shatner's, like, of the kidnapping of the president, the trailer, on my blogcast, few scenes of the movie on my blogcast page and my Facebook page, so look for it, like it. Another one we got is called Visiting Hours. All right, so anyways, this movie, all right, so okay, we got like I said, we got a double shot of the Shat mystery movie. So this was released May 28, 1982 by 20th Century Fox. This was the first film. Shatner made this first film a year before Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Anybody like out there can like verify that. Now, cast was Michael Ironside as Colt Hawken, Lee Grant as Deborah Balin, Linda Pearl as Sheila Monroe, and William Shatner as Gary Bailey. The plot revolves around feminist activist angers a serial killer, Colt Hawken. On a TV talk show, he attacks her. She survives and is sent to County General Hospital. Colt begins stalking Deborah, her friends and nurse, Sheila Monroe. Colt decides to focus attention now to Sheila and stalking her at home. Colt brutally beats and tortures and rapes another nurse and kills a patient. Deborah tries to convince her boss, Gary Baylor, and Sheila that Colt is back to kill again. They think she's paranoid. Colt tries to kill Deborah again, but hospital security stops him. Sheila, all right, so, okay, so Sheila is waiting, is saved and is waiting at her friend's Lisa home. Sheila gets a phone call from Colt saying he's in the house with her daughter and babysitting. Sheila tries to warn Deborah. She rushes home to find her daughter and babysitter safe. Colt appears and shoots Sheila in the stomach. Colt leaves Sheila to die as he goes home and plots to kill Deborah. Deborah sends an ambulance to Sheila home, but she's rushed to the hospital. Gary and the police go to Colt's apartment and discover Colt pics of like various victims. Colt has always been taken to County General. Deborah escapes Colt in the basement in a radiography room. They bring him away from like ground. Deborah hiding behind a machine, shoots and kills Colt, and Gary confronts Deborah. So there's the movie, Visiting Hours. There we go. There it is. So frightening you'll never recover. Boom. All right. So we got that. We got a few shots from the movie there. There he is. There's the Shat and all his like glory there. So, all right. All right. So there's another shot of the Shat right there. There we go. There we go. And there's Mr. Michael Ironside as Colt Hawken, deranged serial killer. So there we go. All right. So Visiting Hours, so frightening you'll never recover. So, all right. So that's our double movie shot of the Shat. So yeah. All right, Trevor. Good to see you out here. All right. Happy birthday, Trevor. Happy belated birthday, Trevor, as you may well know. Okay. Oh yeah. And I did post a few like the trailers for both Visiting Hours and Kidnapping on the President, a few scenes from the movies on my blogcast page and my Facebook page. So yeah. So Trevor, happy belated birthday to you. All right. So if you're late to the game here, all right, bongo solo, boom. Yeah. All right. So yeah. All right. So anyways, Trevor, like for all of you, like my craft beer for tonight, and plus we've got the big Jims Blogcast live drinking game, so you know what to do. There we are. I'm not going to explain it anymore, but there we are. All right. So, all right. So, anyways, our craft beer for tonight, accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. So, all right. So our craft beer for tonight, it is called Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewing Company right here, right over in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. And I'm trying this for the very first time tonight. I'll just top this up. So, anyways, not bad. It's got to grow on me during the blogcast, but you can taste the chocolatey milk in it. It's very dry, a dry taste, chocolatey milk, dry aftertaste to it. And whether it's a spring, summer, or fall beer, this is a good wintertime beer, and I rarely say that. A good wintertime beer. So we'll start it off with that. A good wintertime beer. So, yeah. But I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast, so if you're still here, sticking around, if you want to throw out a number, feel free to do so. So, all right. So, yeah. I got a good cigar to go with these, like... it's a Cafe Tabac Coffee Gurkha cigar. Damn. All right. Just relit that cigar. You know what that means if you're like following along with us. But let's see. Anyways, I want to... all right, so I want to get updated here. So, all right. So, anyways, all right. So, anyways, yeah, great, good. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, anyways, yeah, bongo solo, boom. All right, and yeah. So, anyways, just doing some toggling here, keep us active. It is Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 5.0, episode 256. It is Sunday, June 25th, 2023. Thank you for watching. Yeah, so anyways, as we we're going to get to our show here. As you may very well aware, we've been doing our series of WKRP in Cincinnati, which is one of the inspirations for Big Jim Blogcast Live. We've got the new WKRP in Cincinnati. Right on. That's great. Beer and bongos. So, right on. Yeah. All right. So, okay. The new WKRP in Cincinnati was like... It was two seasons, like September 1991 to May of 1993. Now the premise was this was set like 9 years after the original run of WKRP in Cincinnati. So, which was on CBS. Now the cast, of course, you have like Gordon Jump. All right, there's the cast right there. All right, so you've had like. Gordon Jump as Arthur Carlson, Richard Sanders as Les Nessman, Frank Bonner as Herb Tarluck, McKelly Williamson as Program Director, Donovan Adderhold, Hope Alexander Willis as on-air staff, Claire Hartline, Michael Desbars as Jack Allen, Kathleen Garnett as Dana Burns. They were the morning DJs at WKRP. But astute, real fans of WKRP in Cincinnati would know that like Michael Desbars played like... appeared in like season 2 or 3, I think, of WKRP in Cincinnati. No, season 1, as a member of Scum of the Earth. Wendy Davis is Ronnie Lee, the receptionist. Tawny Katane, this lovely young lady right here, the late legendary Tawny Katane, as nighttime DJ Mona Loveland. Lightfield Lewis as Arthur Carlson Jr., Marla Jan Rubinoff as Nancy Brothwaite, the receptionist who like hits on Herb. French Stewart as Razor D, the morning DJ. So, original cast members: Howard Hessman, who played Dr. Johnny Fever, Tim Reed, who played Venus Flytrap, and Lonnie Anderson, who played Jennifer, the receptionist, all appear in 1 to 2 episodes of it. Now, now the opener of the new WKRP in Cincinnati was started us off with the 50th anniversary of WKRP in Cincinnati by Arthur Carlson Jr. Now, there's the other season, like it starts us off, but episode 1 and 2 begin with part 1 and 2. Where are we going? Arthur Carlson gets arrested, has a new program director, Jennifer and Johnny, show up to prevent the FCC from shutting like WKRP down after it offended a few people. Now, I'm not going to get into the episodes here, but I feel it was like a. I watched the new WKRP in Cincinnati, but it didn't have the feel of the classic original WKRP in Cincinnati. They tried, but it was all right, you know. Now, fun facts: the actual frequency of WKRP was never revealed during the original run. It is here in the new WKRP in Cincinnati, 5:30 a.m. on the AM dial, and when the original WKRP in Cincinnati, its run, they had 5,000 watts, but it was expanded now to 50,000 watts. So now this was in first run syndication. Now what that means, all right, there's like the original cast members like Howard, Lonnie, and Frank Bonner, Dr. Johnny Fever, Jennifer Marlowe, and Herb Tarlick. Now, it meant that first run syndication meant that WKRP wasn't on any time slot. It wasn't on any network time slot. First run syndication meant that a program is broadcast for the first time as a syndicated show specifically to sell to a network. So producers of the company that made the new WKRP in Cincinnati tried to sell it to like a network, hopefully CBS, to pick it up and buy the show. But WKRP wasn't profitable enough for like an investor to buy it, so it was unfortunately it was canceled after like 2 syndicated seasons. So, but I did post several of clips of the new WKRP in Cincinnati on my Facebook page and my Blogcast page, so look for it. Yeah, so all right, so there we go. There is the cast of season 1 and season 2. There you go. So the new WKRP in Cincinnati. All right, so okay. All right, and I did, like I said, I did post several clips and of the new WKRP in Cincinnati on my Blogcast page and my Facebook page. So look for it, like it. All right. All right. Oh. Oh, excuse me. So, all right. Excuse me. Good cigar here. It's a Cafe Tabac coffee flavored cigar, but it's a Gurkha. So, all right. So, and strangely enough, it does go good with the craft beer I'm doing tonight. Woo! Bongo solo. All right. You know what to do if you've been playing along, if you've been like paying attention. So, all right. All right. So this is Big Jims Blogcast Live, version 5.0, episode 256. It is Sunday, June 25th, 2023. So, all right. Yeah, tonight's craft beer, accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. So, rare. Oh yeah, Kathy, you know it. All right, yeah. All right, tonight's craft beer, and I'm going to top it up. All right, it is Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. They're kind of the new boys on the block, the new brewery on the block. They've been open for about a year and a half now. This is a good wintertime beer. It's got a dry aftertaste to it. It's got like a chocolatey milk. You can taste the chocolate milk in it, the stouty taste. Whether or not, I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So if you're still here sticking around, feel free to throw out a number like, because we're all about audience participation here at Big Jims Blogcast Live. Again, it's Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewery in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Look how dark that is. All right, I've got one of their glasses here, PBC. All right, so okay, so yeah, all right, okay, As we move on, all right. So we've got a it might be a Shatner connection here. All right. So we have our classic minor sci-fi character here. He is Mr. Adventure. All right. So Mr. Adventure, played by Scott McGinnis in Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. Mr. Adventure was a Starfleet lieutenant, junior grade, posted to the transporter room at Old City Station in 2285. He worked the late shift with Commander Uhura, played by Nichelle Nichols, the late Nichelle Nichols. Now, in a conversation to her, he expressed his amazement at her decision to choose her posting, as he referred to as the worst duty station posting in town. So, all right. So, unlike her, he would have preferred a posting that offered more challenges and surprises. So she warned him to be careful what you wish for, because she knew Kirk, McCoy, and Sulu were coming to use the transporter. They needed to break McCoy out of the Federation Funny Farm. Mr. Adventure immediately recognized him and the crew and was confused as to why he was there. So, as there were no like codes, or there were no encoded IDs, Uhura forced him to sit in the closet while Uhura illegally beams Kirk's McCoy Sulu to the USS Enterprise. So, Star Trek III. Fan fiction gives his name as Heisenberg and mentions that Uhura locked him in the closet to protect his career, so Starfleet wouldn't blame him what happened. So, and I felt sorry for this guy, because he was going on about oh yeah, your career, Lieutenant Uhura, your career is winding down. You're heading off into the sunset. You're getting old, and she's giving him the death stare. If you've seen this scene in Star Trek III, it's funny, because he is slowly pissing her off. So, and I posted that scene on my blogcast page, my Facebook page. So, but it's damn irregular. No encoded IDs, no transcriptions to where they're going. And she forced him into the closet to protect his career. So, all right, and that was Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. So, all right. Okay. So, and I did, like I said, there's the Shat right there. All right. So, and I did post a couple of scenes of Mr. Adventure, that clip from Star Trek III, on my blogcast page and my Facebook page. So there you go. And Uhura forcing him into the closet. Okay. So. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Adventure. All right. Boom. All right. So, yeah. All right. I gotta say, and if you like this, Trevor, Kathy, Trevor especially, you can share it all over Facebook if you want to. You can share this blogcast wherever you want to. We're not spam. So, which reminds me, before we get to like our classic tag team, all right. So, okay. All right. Good cigar here, Cafe Tabac. It's a Gurkha. It's a coffee flavored. And it's really good. All right. So, okay. All right. It's Big Jim Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256, Sunday, June 25th, 2023. I am going to cube the Rubick for a second time tonight. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, you know it. Okay. All right. So, the object is I'm going to get 20 turns. I'm going to get the full blue side. If I don't, well, all right. So, 20 turns, full blue side. Here we go. All right, drum roll. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Fuck. No, I did not get the full blue side. I'm going to do this one more time tonight. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make a promise right here. If I do not get the full blue side, I'm going to be doing this all year long, right up until November in the last blogcast. If I do not get a full blue side or any full color, I will dismantle this on air and I will restore it to all original colors every side. So that's a promise. You can hold me to that. So there we go. Set that right back there in the Big Jim Blogcast Live coffee mug. All right. So, yeah, bongo solo. Boom. All right. Okay. Before we get going, our craft beer here tonight is Big Jim Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256. It is Sunday, June 25th, 2023. Our craft beer tonight, accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. So, the craft beer for tonight, it is called Chocolate Milk Stout. All right. By the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Like I said, trying this for the very first time tonight. Point Brewery, they're the new boys on the block, so to speak. They've been open for a year and a half, I think, in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Trying this for the very first time tonight. This is a good wintertime beer. Dry aftertaste. You can taste the chocolate milk in it. Dry, stouty taste to it. Good Christmas time beer, I gotta tell you. Yeah, so good Christmas time beer, good winter beer. Like I said, if you're still here and sticking around at the end of the blogcast, I am going to give it a rating out of 10. So, all right. So, okay. So, yeah. Blogcast policy, craft beer review policy. If I get a small can like this, I'm going to get 3 cans. So, anyways, yeah, I still got power. All right. So, yeah. So, anyways, there we go. All right. Before we get to our classic tag team of the night, I'm going to remind everybody that Big Jim Blogcast Live is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Anchor FM, and all these audio listening platforms where you listen to your podcast to, plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jim Blogcast Live at youtube.com. Want to give shouts out to watching this Port Elgin Sarnia groups, especially Sarnia Rock, supporting Sarnia 2.0. Michelle, you guys rock. All the chain reaction group, Glenn and the guys, really great band there. All the pop culture, retro classic nostalgia groups, all the Helix, Van Halen, hard rock, hair metal, classic rock groups, all the craft beer, cigars, sci-fi, Star Wars, Star Trek, pro wrestling, Blogspot, all the blog groups, all the classic TV and movie groups, all the birthdays, bongos, Rubick's, WKRP, Helix, classic guitar duos, Shatner, and classic game shows. So right on. All right, we're rocking and rolling here. Okay, so. All right. Okay. So we move on now to our classic tag team. We have the British Bulldogs. All right, with their mascot Matilda. So, all right, there we go. Okay. All right. Lay it out for everybody here. Okay. So anyways, they debuted in like 1983, Dynamite Kid, Tom Billington, and Davey Boy Smith. They first began wrestling in England and were invited to join Stu Hart's Stampede Wrestling in Calgary, Canada, and feuded with each other. Now in 1984, Vince McMahon bought out Stampede Wrestling, and Dynamite and Davey Boy joined the WWF and formed the British Bulldogs. Now they feuded with the Dream Team, Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, the Islanders, okay, the Islanders, the Rougeau brothers, the Hart Foundation, Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik, and the Killer Bees. All right, so now the British Bulldogs, like I said, with the Hart Foundation, they feuded like with in real life. Davey Boy Smith was the brother-in-law of Bret Hart, as he was married to Diana Hart. So WrestleMania 2, the British Bulldogs won the WWE Tag Team titles from the Dream Team and had Ozzy Osbourne and Captain Lou Albano in their corner. British Bulldogs' last pay-per-view appearance in the WWE was at the 1988 Survivor Series. They were eliminated by Demolition and chose to leave the WWE. Post-WWE, now they returned to Stampede Wrestling, having moderate success winning the Stampede Tag Team titles and feuding with the Cuban Assassin, the Cuban Commandos, and a young Chris Benoit. The British Bulldogs break up. Davey Boy Smith would work for WCW and WWE in the 90s. He would die, sadly, of a heart attack on May 18, 2002 at age 39. Dynamite Kid would have back injuries that would force him out of wrestling, and he would end up in a wheelchair and would pass away at age 60, December 5th, 2018. I posted several of their matches and promos on my Facebook page and my Blogcast page. Matilda, as an angle, was kidnapped by Bobby the Brain Heenan, this guy, when they feuded with the Islanders. So, all right. So, all right. So at the end of, okay, there they are. There's your classic tag team for the night, the British Bulldogs. Right on. So, dun, 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 dun. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. Other thing, we're going to give 10 gong salutes to Tawny Katane. We're going to give 10 gong salutes. We're going to give 10 gong salutes simultaneously to Tawny McCain, the British Bulldogs, Dan Gallagher, Paul Hackman. All right. And yeah, Eddie Van Halen. So, all right. Boom. Bongo solo. All right. You know what to do if you've been following along. All right. All right. So, all right, that was a good cigar. Our craft beer for tonight, it is accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. Who's all here for the bongos and the beers besides Trevor? Give me a shout out. All right. Our craft beer for tonight, it is Chocolate Milk Stout. I'm going to top this baby up here. All right. Called Chocolate Milk Stout. It is by the Point Brewing Company. There we go. There's the can. There's the glass. All right. So, yeah. And I'm trying this for the very first time tonight. All right. Doing a bit of toggling there. Okay. So, anyways, I gotta say, so far, dry. It's a dry chocolatey milk aftertaste to it. It's a good Christmas beer, good wintertime beer, good spring beer, Christmas and spring. And yeah, it does go down. It goes down smoothly, no questions about that. But and I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So if you're still here and sticking around, please feel free to throw out a number as we're all about audience participation here at Big Jims Blogcast Live. So, all right, bongo solo, boom. And I'm gonna. Oh, I've heard thunder though. Well, I'll give you the drinking game while we're here. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so for those of you who are new and just arrived late to the party, all right. So, all right, good cigar. It's a Gurkha Cafe Tobacco coffee flavored. All right, so yeah. Damn, got to relight it again. So, all right. So yeah, doing a bit of toggling here. This is Big Jims Blogcast Live, version 5.0, episode 256. It's Sunday, June 25th, 2023. And like I said, how much later? Well, stick around for until 9 o'clock. Before 9. That's like you know. So. And I know you got to work in the morning, Trevor. I know that. I feel that. I feel you, man. All right. So bongo solo, boom. All right. So yeah, doing a bit of toggling here. All right. So, all right. We've got our classic game show host. Where is he? Oh yeah, here we are, Mr. Dan Gallagher. All right, and he hosted Test Pattern in the 1990s. So there we go. There's Test Pattern. There's Dan Gallagher. Now, all right. He was born May 14th, 1957. He attended Senator College School in Don Mills, Ontario, acting in the schools like in the cultural newspaper magazine. In the mid-1970s, he attends Lemoore College Institute in Scarborough, founded the school radio station there. Guelph University, he was a campus part-time DJ in the Bull Ring. 1991, in stadium hosted. He's a host of the Toronto Argonauts game in the Sky Dome. He hosts beach volleyball games on TSN. He hosted a weekend talk show on CFRB Toronto. He hosted CBC's Video Hits from 1991 to 93 and the Pepsi Power Hour as a VJ. You remember those? You remember who remembers the Power Hour here on Much Music? I do. He was best known for hosting like Test Pattern. All right, on Much Music from 1989 and 1991. Sadly, Dan would pass away from on January 20th, 2001 at his home after a sudden illness. Now, Test Pattern was a combination. Test Pattern, okay, all right, was a combination of Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and The Price is Right. It was very low budget. So how low budget was it? Well, they would give away toasters. I'm not kidding you. He would open like an envelope. Dan Gallagher would open an envelope, and we'd go, "Oh my God, what have you won? Oh, let's see, $5. Oh my God! Oh my God!" And you'd completely go apeshit. Like, we've got a new toaster too. Oh my God! Oh my God, what have you won? $5. All right, yeah. Okay. Excuse me. So it really, but you got they had the ultimate prizes, the trips to Las Vegas, Mexico, Florida. Unfortunately, test pattern was canceled after 2 seasons. So, all right. Yeah. So our classic like game show host Dan Gallagher and his show Test Pattern. There we go. All right. So, all right. Okay. So yeah. Oh my God, $5! You've won just $5. Oh my God! But yeah, the way he sold that was like he had to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. So to put it that way, but Test Pattern was what it was. For its time, oh yeah, bongo solo, boom. All right. So, anyways, yeah. I posted several of. I posted several clips from of Dan Gallagher and Test Pattern on my Blogcast page and my Facebook page. So, anyways, yeah, it's right on. So look for it, like it. All right. So, This is Big Jims Blogcast Live version 5.0. Episode 256. It is Sunday, June 25th, 2023. Thank you for watching. We're going to move on here to our classic our classic album of the night. And so, but first we've got like our craft beer for tonight. It's accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. So, all right. We have, all right. All right, we have chocolate milk stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Just topping this up. I'm trying this for the very first time tonight. All right, dry, stouty taste to it. You can really taste the chocolate milk in it. No unpleasant aftertaste. It's a good Christmas time, wintertime spring beer. Wintertime and spring beer. So, yeah, look how dark it is. I do have their glass here, the Point Brewing Company glass. All right, so yeah, topping it up a little bit, but it's a good beer. So far, so good. Like I said, good Christmas time, wintertime beer. Good fall beer as you're heading into wintertime. Good fall, winter, and spring beer. Yeah. Like I would like drink these like in the wintertime. So, all right. And I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So if you're still here, sticking around, feel free to like throw out a number there, like as people have done in the past, because we're all about like audience participation here at Big Jims Blogcast Live. So, anyways, all right. So we move on. Bongo solo, boom. All right, let me ask you a question. Sue, are you still out of power in your area of town? So, because I just heard thunder, so anyways, we have got, all right. We have got our boys, our classic album for tonight. It's called Helix-Walkin the Razor's Edge. So, and here's the band of that era. So, all right. So, Capitol Records. This is Helix's 4th studio album. There's the boys on the back, all looking all like mean. Brent Doerner, Paul Hackman. All right. So, anyways, first things first here. This was released July 7th, 1984. The Helix's 4th studio album. All right. Recorded at Electric Lady in New York City and Studio One in Atlanta, Georgia. All right. So, oh man. All right. I know, Steve, but I gotta I've got shit to do after the blogcast, and I got to stay sober. So, all right. Okay. So, and yeah. So, anyways, it was produced by Tom Tremuth, Helix, and Rodney Mills. Now, the band was, all right. So, you've got Brian Vollmer on lead vocals, Brent Doerner on lead guitar, Paul Hackman on rhythm guitar, Daryl Gray on bass, Greg Hines on drums, Greg Fitzhines on drums. There we go. There's like the, there we are. So, songs, side 1, Rock You, Young and Restless, Animal House, Fear of the Fire, When the Hammer Falls. Side 2, Gimme Gimme Good Lovin', My Kind of Rock, Maybe Do Anything You Want. Oh yeah, yeah, fuck. All right. So, all right. So I'm gonna put this on somebody's timeline here. All right. So send in messenger. Okay. Let's see here. All right. All right. So there we go. All right. So there we go. Okay. So I hope he's watching. All right. So, okay. So anyways, yeah. All right. So yeah. Side 2, you got Gimme Gimme Good Lovin', My Kind of Rock, Make Me Do Anything You Want. 6 string, 9 lives, You Keep Me Rockin'. Now, with Helix's 4th studio album, lead single video was formed in a... Helix is out of Kitchener, by the way. All right, so the first studio album... No, this is like their 4th studio album. The video Rock You was filmed in a rock quarry in Kitchener, Ontario. It reached number 27 on the Canadian Pop second singles charts. Second single, Gimme Gimme Good Lovin', was a Crazy Elephant cover. Third single video, power ballad, Make Me Do Anything You Want, was Make Me Do Anything You Want. Went to number 44 on the Canadian singles chart. The album reached number 69 on the U.S. Billboard album chart. Now, Helix went on tour with Triumph in Europe. Here's our boys in the band that right there. Now, they went on tour with Kiss, this version of Kiss, well, not that version. They've toured, during all that year, they toured with Quiet Riot. If I'm wrong, Mr. Brent Doerner, if you can correct me, I don't know. They toured with, like, Dawkins. They toured with maybe, I think, Poison. All right, so, all right. All right. Maybe Cinderella, and maybe Rat. So, all right. So, if Brent Doerner, if you're watching, if you can correct me on this. All right. So, yeah. So, basically, pretty much rockin' album. I mean, the album cover, this was, on the liner notes, Kiss thanks Kiss. Or no, sorry, Helix thanks Kiss and Tony Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi's cousin. The album design was recorded, mixed, produced. Management, they had William Sepp Management. Europe, the agency. It was designed by Douglas Brown and Heather Brown. So here's Helix's classic album, Walking the Razor's Edge. And I did post several videos of Rock You, Gimme Gimme Good Lovin', and Make Me Do Anything You Want on my Blogcast page and my Facebook page. All right, so that is our boys there. All right, so Helix, our boys on the back here. This version of the band, Brian Vollmer, Brent Doerner, Paul Hackman, Daryl Gray, Greg Hines. Yeah, so, all right. Gimme, gimme good lovin' every night. Dude, all right. Amazing. All right, so anyways, yeah. Oh, yeah, and they might have toured with Motley Crue, too. You know, so, all right, so, okay. All right. Da-da-da-da-da. Let me put this back. All right. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So. All right. So, and here are our boys in the band, Helix. That was the 80s version of them. So, yeah. All right. So let's see. Unhide. There we go. All right. So, like I said, oh my God, you've won $5. Whoa. All right. Woohoo. Okay. So, I know. All right. So, I got to unhide some of your comments here. If you use the words fuck or damn or shit or screw, all right. Facebook hides them. So, all right. So, anyways, all right, so this is a good cigar we got going on here. All right, bongo solo, boom. All right, before we get to our classic guitar duo of the night, oh man, fuck. All right, so, all right, so when we get to our classic guitar duo of the night, all right, so, fuck. Let me take a bathroom break. I'll take 5 here. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, so coming back, I'm back. All right, so yeah, I'm back. All right, so anyways, yeah, I'm here. All right, so, okay, so, I want to remind everybody tonight, yeah, so anyways, bongo solo, boom. All right, so anyways, I want to remind everybody tonight that this blogcast is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all these audio listening platforms where you listen to your podcast to, plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jims Blogcast Live at youtube.com. So, and I want to give thanks. I want to give shouts out to everybody watching in the Port Elgin Sarnia groups, especially Sarnia Rocks. Supporting Sarnia 2.0, Michelle, you guys rock. Chain Reaction, great band there. All the pop culture, retro classic nostalgia groups. All the Van Halen, Helix, hard rock, hair metal, classic rock groups. All the craft beer, cigars. Sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, William Shatner, pro wrestling. The blog groups, all the classic TV and movies. All the birthday groups, all the bongos, Rubik's Cube, WKRP, classic game shows, and the Paul Hackman group. All right. So, anyways, our craft beer tonight. I got like a good cigar here. It's a Gurkha Cafe Tobacco coffee flavored. It's very good. All right. So, and Steve, if to address your comment right there, that I should take a shot, well, I'm taking one for the team here, just by doing the Gibson's Finest Whiskey tonight. So, anyways, yeah. So it's Big Jims Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256, Sunday, June 25th, 2023. Our craft beer for tonight, accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. before we get to our classic guitar duo. It is called Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. And I'm trying it for the very first time tonight. Good. It's a dry tasting beer. You can taste the chocolate milk in it. It's got no unpleasant aftertaste to it at all. I'm going to top this puppy up. It's a good fall and wintertime and Christmas time beer. So it's good for when like family reunions. Because it just has that Christmassy like wintertime feel to it. So, but I do give it a rating. I will give it a rating shortly. I just want to acknowledge like our classic guitar duo for tonight. All right. So, okay. So our classic guitar duo. It is. All right. So. And I hope he's watching because like he's a fan of the blogcast. We've got Brent Doerner and Paul Hackman. So, all right. There's Brent Doerner. And there's Mr. Paul Hackman. All right. The late Paul Hackman. All right. So, yeah. Okay. So, all right. So, anyways, okay, so, all right, so, now, there we go. All right. All right, so, you got them, there we are. They were the twin guitar attack in Helix during the 80s. So, all right, so, anyways, all right, both Brent and Paul joined Helix in 1979 and played on all 7 Helix studio albums. 1979's Bustin' Loose, 1981's White Lace by Helix, 1983's No Rest for the Wicked, 1984's Walkin' the Razor's Edge, 1985's Long Way to Heaven, 1987's Wild in the Streets, and 1990's Back for Another Taste. Now, both Brent and Paul pretty much played the same like brand of guitars, Stratocaster, Gibsons. They might have played like these guitars, Gibsons, Marshalls, Ovation guitars, Kramer guitars, Trainer amps. Now, both were influenced by Johnny Winter, Richie Blackmore of Deep Purple, Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin, Mick Box and Len Hensley of Uriah Heep, and of course, they were both influenced by this man, Eddie Van Halen. Okay, so, all right. Anywho, after Helix, Paul Hackman agreeing to take a short break from Helix. All right. All right. So, anyways, Paul, if you're Brent, if you're watching, maybe you can correct me on some of my info here. After Helix, Paul Hackman agreeing to take a short break from Helix passed away, unfortunately, July 5th, 1992, after a concert in Vancouver. The van he was in went down like an embankment. He was sleeping at the time, but thrown from the vehicle and died. He was from St. Thomas, Ontario. He was 38 years old and was residing in Port Franks, Ontario. Now, Brent Doerner, this is Paul Hackman, and this is Brent Doerner. So, all right, Brent, he quit Helix in 1990, but, yeah, there we go. All right, so Brent quit Helix in 1990, but he has occasionally reunited with Helix off and on. He has his own band now called My Wicked Twin. All right. So that he formed in 2008. is like he started out as Brent Doerner's Decibel with his twin brother Brian. So there we are. There's my wicked twin. There's Brent Doerner's new band there. So, anyways, good hard rocking band. I listened to several of their songs. Awesome, like band there, My Wicked Twin. Yeah. So as for reuniting with Helix, that's up in the air with like Paul, or no, with Brent. So, all right. So, yeah, great guitar duo there. They played off of each other. All right. So, okay. So, da, 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 da. Gimme good love. And there is Paul Hackman and Brent Doerner in action, in concert, right on. So, all right. So, anyways, if you stick around, we will give 10 gong salutes simultaneously to the British Bulldogs, Dan Gallagher, Paul Hackman, yeah, and Eddie Van Halen. So, right on. So, all right. So, all right. So, bongo solo, boom. All right. So, if you've been following along, you know what to do after that bongo solo. Right on. So, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, I see, maybe, Kathy, you never know. Maybe, maybe not. I see several people have thrown out some numbers there. All right. So, okay. All right. Had to relight the cigar there. This is a Cafe Tabac coffee flavored Gurkha cigar, and it's by the Riverfront Cigars in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. All right, good cigar there. And it's accompanied, all right, so we got our craft beer for tonight. And are accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right, so yeah. All right. All right. To craft beer for tonight, it is it is called Chocolate Milk Stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Trying this beer for the very first time tonight. Point Brewing is the new boys on the block, so to speak. They've been around for a year and a half. I'd like to think so. And it's got a dry aftertaste to it. It's a chocolate. You can taste the chocolate milk in it. Goes down simply smooth. All right. Give it a top up there. It's a good fall, wintertime beer. Good for like Christmas, the holidays, when you've got the family over. Yeah, so it's well suited for December, the winter months, December, October, December, January, February. I give it that like that. Those beers there. But damn good tasting beer. All right, so like I said, if you're still sticking around, and we will give it a rating shortly after my most favorite time in the blogcast. So, all right, boom. All right, so bongo solo there. You know what to do. All right, so good cigar there. All right, so it is Big Jims Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256. It is Sunday, June 25th, 2023. We are going to move on now to my most favorite time in the blogcast. It is called This Week in Van Halen History. All right, so, okay. We got both versions of VH there. This is from June 19th to the 25th. Just June 19th, 1980, Van Halen plays the Apollo Theatre in Manchester, England. June 19th, 1989, Van Halen attends the premiere. Eddie Van Halen attends the premiere with his wife, Valerie Bertinelli. All right. At the Village Theatre in Westwood, California. June 19th, 1983, Edward Van Halen attends the National Association of Music Merchants, the NAMM show at a convention at McCormick Place in Chicago, Illinois. Happy birthday goes out to June 20th, 1954. Michael Anthony, former bass player for Van Halen, was born in St. Joe's Hospital in Chicago, Illinois. Happy birthday to Michael Anthony. All right. June 21st, 1978, Van Halen played in the Nakano Sun Plaza Hall in Tokyo, Japan. June 21st, 1991, David Lee Roth plays the Coca-Cola Lakewood Amphitheater in Atlanta, Georgia. June 22nd, 1988, Van Halen brings the Monsters of Rock tour to the Rubick Arena in Akron, Ohio. June 22nd, 2004, Van Halen plays the Continental Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. June 23rd, 1994, Edward Van Halen and Valerie Bertinelli attend the premiere of Forrest Gump at Paramount Studios in Hollywood, California. June 23rd, 2001, David Lee Roth plays The Rock in Maplewood, Minnesota. June 21st, 1984, Van Halen plays the Civic Auditorium in Omaha, Nebraska. All right. June 24th, 1988, David Lee Roth plays the Hearst Memorial Coliseum in Shreveport, Louisiana. June 24th, 1999, David Lee Roth plays the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. June 24th, 2010, Edward Van Halen appears on the 100th episode of the George Lopez Show on TBS. June 25th, 1978, Van Halen plays the Festival Hall in Osaka, Japan. June 25th, 1989, or June 25th, 1979, Van Halen played the Odeon Theatre in Birmingham, England. And June 25th, 1995, Van Halen opens for Bon Jovi at the Wembley Stadium in London, England. Well, all right. So, all right, and that is all, and that is it for this week in Van Halen history. All right. So yeah. Okay. So, all right, people. All right. Boom. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So, anyways, yeah. All right. All right, people. So, I'm going to give this... All right. So, anyways, I'm going to... Before I give this beer a rating, I'm going to cube the Rubick one more time. I'm going to try and get 20 turns on... It's called 20... I'm going to give it 20 turns. I'm going to try and get the full blue side. So, here we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So, I only got this. So, you know what? I will make a promise to you that my last blogcast, November of this year, if I don't get like at least a blue side or any other full colored side, I will disassemble this on air and put it back to all of its colors on all sides. So, yeah. So you can hold me to that. That's a promise. All right. Boom. Bongo solo there. All right. So, okay. So, all right. Good cigar there. Now, all right. I'm about to rate this beer. So, it's accompanied by a good cigar, Cafe Tabac Coffee Gurkha by the Riverfront Cigars here in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. Accompanying it, the beer, is called Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right, so, all right. I thought long and hard about this. The beer for tonight, chocolate milk stout by the, well, it might be, you never know. By the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. The new boys on the block, so to speak. They've been open for about a year and a half, I think. So anyways, my final thoughts on this. Here we go. No unpleasant aftertaste. Good. It's dry. It goes down. You can taste the chocolate milk in it. It's a good spring. No, it's a good fall, wintertime, Christmas, January, February, December, January, February beer. All right. So, anyways, yeah. Chocolate milk stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. I thought long and hard on this. So, and if you remember my rating system, there we go. There we go. Take a look at it. There we go. Right there. What am I going to give it? I'm going to give it okay, here we go. So, all right. So, some of you were correct, some of you weren't. All right, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for the Point Brewing Company. All right, so chocolate milk stout, 8 out of 10. All right. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Comment, there we go. There we are, 8 out of 10. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for the chocolate milk stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. So, all right, yeah, fuck, man, good beer, good Christmas time beer, good December, January, February, wintertime beer. When you're reuniting with the family, you want that taste to it. So yeah, all right, okay, so yeah, 8 out of 10. There we go. I'll flash that number again. 8 out of 10 on chocolate milk stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. So yeah, damn good beer. All right, and you've won $5. Oh my God! Oh wow! Oh hey, right on. All right, $5. Oh my. Life-changing money. Oh my God. All right. So, all right. So, anyways, yeah. All right. So, okay. So, excuse me for a minute. Another bathroom break. All right. So, okay. Okay, all right, I'm back. All right, fuck. Okay, so test pattern toaster. Well, you'll have to go to oh fuck. Okay, all right. So, anyways, yeah. We cubed. I'm going to give you guys an inspirational, motivational quote now. Try to be a good audience for whatever kind of experience reveals itself to you, by Gary Thorpe. I'll repeat that. Try to be a good audience for whatever kind of experience reveals itself to you. And that's by Gary Thorpe. Boom! All right. So, okay. Okay. Mm. 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 All right. So, as promised, I'm going to give a 10 gong salute simultaneously to like Tawny Katane, Edward Van Halen, Paul Hackman, the British Bulldogs. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we are. 10 gong salute for the dearly departed that made the people that I just mentioned. So in their like respective fields of entertainment. So in their occupations, right on. So all right. So yeah. Okay. So now many of you have been asking me, dude, what kind of t-shirts? Where can I get a t-shirt? Where can I get a t-shirt like mine? So if you want a t-shirt like mine, or if any design, like a jersey, a baseball jersey like this, with the logo on the front or the back, and if you want like a plain white t-shirt like this one, or a tank top, like we've got the plain white t-shirt, you know, so we got that. So if you want a t-shirt like mine, any design, inbox me. To like send me a message with what you want on my inbox or my Big Jims Blogcast Live page. They are $35. That includes shipping and handling, 4 to 6 weeks for delivery, money order, e-transfer, and I'll do my best to get that out to you. So right on. Boom. Oh yeah. Bongo solo there. All right. If you've been following along, here's the drinking game. All right. So, okay. All right. We're going to toggle that. All right. So, yeah. 8 out of 10 stars for the Point Brewing Company. All right, boom. Yeah, good cigar, good. You know. All right. So. Okay. So yeah. So this is Big Jims Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256, Sunday, June 25th, 2023. All right. So if I've forgotten anything, all right, people. That's it for me. Big Jims Blog. All right. All right, that's it for me. We did our birthday. We did our craft beer review. 8 out of 10 stars on chocolate milk stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. We did our happy birthday shout outs. Louis McCott, Teresa Farrell, Laurie Boucher, Trevor Cope, Will Bird, Jill Vittor, Rick Carr, Cheryl Morgan, Rhonda Johnson, Darren Landon, Chad Irwin, Chantel Darcy, Mark Stewart, Mark Ernest Burr, Jen Johnson, Nicole Leinhardt, Gloria and Rick Bodan. We did our countdowns, local events. Yeah, so we did a Shatner Doubleshot mystery movie, visiting hours and the kidnapping of the president, the new WKRP in Cincinnati, our classic sci-fi character, Mr. Adventure from Star Trek 3, our classic tag team of British Bulldogs, classic game show host Dan Gallagher and his show Test Pattern, our classic album Helix-Walkin, The Razor's Edge, classic guitar duos Brent Doerner and Paul Hackman. This week in Van Halen history, we rated the beer 8 out of 10. It was chocolate milk stout by the Point Brewing Company in Point Edward, Ontario, Canada. Our motivational quote, try to be a good audience for whatever kind of experience reveals itself to you, by Gary Thorpe. Yeah, so Big Jims Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256, Sunday, June 25th, 2023. This blogcast is not spam. Later on, we'll go out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all these already listening platforms. It's your podcast too, plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jims Blogcast Live at youtube.com. And we will thank all the Port Elgin Sarnia groups. Sarnia Rocks, Michelle Guys Rock, Sporting Sarnia, Chain Reaction, all the pop culture at the classic nostalgia groups, all the Van Halen, Helix, hard rock, hair metal, classic rock groups, craft beer, cigars, sci-fi, Star Wars, Star Trek, William Shatner, pro wrestling, blog groups, classic TV and movies, birthdays, bongos, Rubick's, WKRP in Cincinnati, Helix. All right, people, you're not going to see me next weekend. Next weekend is a long weekend, so cheers. Enjoy yourselves. You'll see me the weekend after. All right. So, boom, bongo solos. All right. So yeah. All right. So cheers, everyone. For Big Jims Blogcast Live version 5.0, episode 256, Sunday, June 25th, 2023. I'm Jim, and cheers. All right. See you guys the following weekend after the long weekend. Goodbye. All right.